Okay, so for this worksheet, it is titled, When Do We Flip It? So for this first side, it says, start with this table and fill in the appropriate symbol less than or greater than between columns A and B. So we're going to compare columns A and B, and we're going to fill in the less than or greater than symbol. And the first one is done for us. So 3 is less than 5, -7 and 4. So we're going to fill in that -7 is less than 4. 0 and 8, well, 0 is less than 8. And 6 and 3, 6 is greater than 3. Okay, now we're going to do 1B. And 1B says, add 4 to both columns and complete the table with the correct inequality symbol. So we're starting with the number that they gave us. So notice they had 3, and they added 4 to get 7, and they had 5, and they added 4 to get 9. So we're starting with the number that they gave us, -7, and we're going to add 4. And that equals -3. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for the whole table. So we're going to do that first before we do the symbols. So we're going to have 0 plus 4, and that equals 4. And then we have 6, and then we're going to do plus 4, and that equals 10. And then on this side we had 4 plus 4, and that equals 8. We had 8 plus 4, and that equals 12. And then we had 3 plus 4, and that equals 7. Okay, so now we're going to fill in our symbols. So we're going to compare our answers. Okay, so -3 and 8 -3 is less than 8. 4 and 12, 4 is less than 12. And 10 and 7, 10 is greater than 7. Now what I want you to do is compare the table on the left over here with the table on the right. Did adding 4 change the symbols in the middle, or did they stay the same? Well, we had less than and less than, so they stayed the same. Less than and less than, so that one stayed the same. Less than, that one stayed the same. And greater than, greater than. So adding 4 did not change the less than or greater than symbols, the inequality symbols. Okay, so moving on to number 2. Start with this table and fill in the appropriate symbol between columns A and column B. Okay, so we're going to do that. So the table actually stayed the same, so 3 is less than 5, -7 is less than 4, 0 is less than 8, and 6 is greater than 3. So this time we're going to add -4 to both columns and complete the table with the correct inequality symbol. Now, what I want you guys to remember is that adding -4 is the same as subtracting 4. Okay, so we're really also subtracting 4. So basically we want to see if adding a negative or subtracting a number changes the inequality symbol. So let's do that. So we're going to do the math and then we're going to compare our inequality symbols. Okay, so we're going to start with the same numbers. So -7, and then we're going to, oops, shoot, forgot to put the plus symbol, plus -4 equals -11. Okay, then I have 0 plus -4 is equal to -4. And then I have 6 plus -4 is equal to 2. Other side, we have 4 plus -4 equals 0. We have 8 plus -4 equals 4. And then we have 3 plus -4, and that equals -1. Just going to change those colors. Equals 0 equals 4, because I forgot to do that. Okay, so the first one they did for us, -1 equals 1, is less than 1, sorry, so they did that one for us. So compare -11 to 0. Well, -11 is less than 0. -4 and +4, well, that one is less than +4. And 2 and -1, well, 2 is greater than -1. So again, we want to compare the original inequality symbols to our new inequality symbols. So did adding a negative, otherwise known as subtracting, change our original inequality symbols? And the answer is no. Okay. So, number 3, does adding a positive or negative number change the equality symbol? Explain. Okay, so you can answer that on your own because we just talked about it. Okay, so you can pause if you need to answer that, or you can just answer it right now. Okay, so next up is to solve. So I will solve one with you, and you're going to do the other one. So this one says 8 plus x is less than 2. So basically you do the same thing as you do with an equation. So we're going to draw our little river, except you have to remember that it's an inequality and not an equal sign. So ignore that little 8 there. That's my page number. I don't know why it's there. Okay, so we want to get the 8 and the 2 together because those are like terms, but they're on opposite sides of the river, so we have to do opposite operations, right? So I have to subtract 8 and subtract 8. Okay, so subtracting 8 to both sides, I'm going to have x, and this is going to be -6, and subtracting does not change my inequality symbol, so that means that this is going to be x is less than 6. Okay, that was the purpose of the activity above. So on our number line, okay, we're going to put a -6 someplace, I don't care where. This is going to be an open circle, there's no equal to symbol on it, so we're going to do an open circle, and less than goes to the left because that's where numbers less than -6 is going to be. That's all you need to do to put it on your number line. Okay? So you're going to do this one right here. Again, you can pause the video right now so that you can do that one. Okay? And I'm going to move on. Okay, so number 5 says start with this table and fill in the appropriate symbol, less than or greater than, between columns A and B. Okay, so again, we have 3 is less than 5, -7 is less than 4, 0 is less than 8, and 6 is greater than 3. This time we're going to divide both sides by 2 and complete the table with the correct inequality symbol. So we're dividing both sides by a +2. Okay, so 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Okay, so we're going to do the rest of them. So I have -7 divided by 2 is equal to -3.5. Oh, sorry about my awful handwriting here. And then I have 0, divided by 2. Well, that's still 0. And then we have 6 divided by 2 is 3. Over here on this side, we have 4 divided by 2, that equals 2. We have 8, divided by 2, which is 4. And then we have 3 divided by 2, which is equal to 1.5. Okay, let's compare numbers. So -3.5 and 2, well, that's less than. 0 and 4, 0 is less than 4. And 3 and 1.5, well, 3 is greater than 1.5. Okay, so now let's compare our two tables. Did our symbols over here and our symbols over here, did dividing by +2 change them? Nope, they're the same. Those and those are the same. Okay. All right, number 6, start with the table and compare. So let's do that. The table's the same. -7 is less than 4. 0 is less than 8. 6 is greater than 3. Okay. And divide both sides this time by -2. So this time we're dividing by a negative. I want to point that out to you. Oops, that's an awful color to highlight by. Let's try this. Okay, we're dividing by a -2 this time. Okay, so let's do it. So we're doing -7 divided by -2 this time. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive 3.5. Okay, we have 0 divided by -2. 0 divided by anything is going to still be 0. And 6 divided by -2, positive divided by a negative is going to give me a -3. Okay, other side, we have 4 divided by -2. Well, that's going to give me positive divided by a negative is a -2. Okay, I have 8 divided by -2. Okay, again, positive divided by a negative is a -4. And I have 3 divided by -2. Positive divided by a negative is a -1.5. Okay, let's compare our symbols. Let's do our symbols, I mean. -1.5 and -2.5. -1.5 is greater. They did that one for us. 3.5 and -2. 3.5 is greater. 0 and -4. 0 is greater. -3 and -1.5. -3 is smaller, less than -1.5. So let's compare our symbols. Here are our original symbols. Here are our new symbols. What happened this time? Are they the same? Okay, so answer number 7, does dividing by a positive or a negative number change the inequality symbol? Okay, we started in number 5 by multiplying by a positive, dividing by a positive, and in number 6 we divided by a negative. So dividing by a positive, what did that do? And dividing by a negative, what did that do? So pause the video and answer that question. What happened? What happened to the symbols? What did you know? What do you notice? Okay. Now we're going to do number 8. Actually, you guys can do number 8. You should have the gist of this now. Okay, you can do number 8 and 9 and answer number 10. And then number 11, solve the inequality and graph the solution remember, if you multiply or divide both sides of the inequality, by a negative number, reverse or flip the inequality symbol. Okay? So let's do this middle one together. There's my river. Okay, you're dividing by -4, so we have to multiply both sides by -4. Okay, I get x, I get -80. I multiplied by a negative, that's what this is saying. If you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip or reverse the inequality. So instead of staying a less than, I have to make this a greater than or equal to. So that's my answer. Okay, do the other two. And then we're going to graph it. So I have -80. It was a greater than or equal to, so it's a shaded in dot, and greater than goes this way to the right, because that's where number's bigger than it is. Okay, so you can finish this up. Okay, so this is the next worksheet, working with inequalities. So what we're going to do is we're going to, in the first column it says rewrite if necessary. What that means is if the variable isn't first, you're going to reverse the inequality and rewrite it so that the variable is first. So in the first one, x is greater than 5 is already written with the variable first. So we don't have to do that portion. Okay, y less than or equal to 2, we don't have to do it. But this next one with a 8 greater than a, that's not written the appropriate way. So we need to rewrite it. So what we do is we take this and we kind of reverse it. Okay, so we reverse this. That means we have to write it totally backwards. So you write the a first, and notice how the inequality has the inequality pointing to a, so you have to rewrite it that way. So you're literally writing it backwards, and then the 8. Okay, so that's how we rewrite it backwards. The same thing with the next one, okay, because the m isn't written first, so we're going to write the m first, and then this time the opening is to the m, so we're going to do it this way, and then -3. Okay, so we have to rewrite those last two. To say it in words, we're going to say x is greater than 5. Okay, that's say it in words. Okay, y is less than or equal to 2. That's say it in words. Okay, you could do the last two. Graph it. That should be bigger, but you're going to do a number line, put 5 on there. This would be an open circle. Greater than goes this way. Okay, so that's graph it. A number line, put 2 on there. This will be a closed circle. You're going to go Less than is to the left. That's graph it. Okay? Name a point in the solution set. Well, a point in the solution set is any number that is going to satisfy it. So what's a number bigger than 5? It can be any number. Okay? 10. Pick a number. Okay? And then y less than or equal to 2. Any number on the number line that is less than 2 or equal to. I could write 2 because it satisfies it. Or you could pick a number less than 2, negative 100. Okay, anything that works. Okay, so you're going to do the last 2 on your own. Okay, check that it works. Substitute. So I'm going to put 10 greater than 5. Is that a true statement? It better be, otherwise I picked the wrong number. Okay, 2 less than or equal to 2. Yes, that works because of that equals to symbol. Negative 100 less than or equal to 2. Yes, it works because of the less than symbol. Okay, you didn't have to pick 2 numbers. I was just showing you that both of them worked. Okay, so you're going to do these last 2 on your own. You should also be able to work backwards. Write the inequality represented by each graph. Okay, so this one, you have it's at 4. Okay, the letter X, you have you have X, you have a 4, okay? It's going to the right, which means the numbers are bigger than it. So you have a greater than, okay? And it's an open circle, which means that you do not have an equal to sign. Okay, so number 2, okay, you have an X here, so it's telling you what letter to use. So you have an X. It's at 5. Okay, it's going to the left, which are numbers less than it. And it's shaded in, which means that it has to have the equals to symbol. Okay, so you can do these last 2 on your own. Okay, so you could either pause the video and fill these 2 in now, or you can go back and do them later. Okay, so this part of the worksheet is a little more complicated than the first table because they didn't just give you a variable equals, okay? So it says 3x greater than 12, so they want you to solve it, okay? So we're going to draw our little river, okay? So we're going to divide by 3, okay, and we get x is greater than 4. We did not divide by a negative. Rewrite if necessary. We don't have to. We had x first. Say it in words. X is greater than 4. Graph it. There's 4. Open circle. Goes this way. Okay, they should give you a bigger box for that. Pick a point. Any number bigger than 4. Random point. I picked 12. Check it. This time when you check it, you're going back to your original equation. Okay, so your check it is going to be 12. Oh, so, whoops, sorry about that. You're going to do 3 times 12, because that's the point I picked, is greater than 12. Sorry, I write really big. Okay, so I have 36 is greater than 12. Well, that better be true, otherwise I didn't pick the right kind of number for a point. And it is true. Okay? So that's what you have to do there. Let's do one more. Let's do this third one down together. Okay, so the third one down, I'm going to draw my river. We're going to do add 1 to both sides, right? Because we have to get the 1 and the 9 together and they're on opposite sides. So I get 10 greater than n. Okay, in this case, we need to rewrite it because the n does not come first. So I'm going to get n less than 10. So n is less than 10. Okay, number line. 10, open circle, goes this way. Pick a point. Easy point, less than 10. I'm picking 0. I like easy numbers. So then I'm going back to my original question here. Okay, and I'm going to have 9 greater than 0 minus 1. So 9 greater than negative 1. Oh, that's true. Okay, so that's what you have to do for these. So you're going to finish off the rest of these questions right here. Okay? Okay, and your practice paper right here, this is what you're going to do on your own. Okay, so this is review. You have equations to solve, and you have inequalities to solve and graph. Okay, so this is a combination of everything that you have learned. I am not going to do any of these for you. Okay, so this is everything that you need to do. Okay.